If you're not careful, and you knock-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up here. Somewhere with no windows, no exits. Only the hum. This is the story of a photograph that became a world. A world people volunteered to be lost in. 7 years, from an anonymous post no one signed, to the highest-grossing film its studio ever made. This is where the Backrooms came from, and everything that crawled out. May 12, 2019. On 4chan's paranormal board, an anonymous user opens a thread, asking for images that just feel off. Among the replies, one photograph. Empty rooms. Damp yellow wallpaper. Fluorescent lights buzzing over old, moist carpet. A place that clearly exists, and clearly should not. The next day, another anonymous reply gives it a name, and a rule. He calls it the Backrooms. 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms. And the line that would haunt a generation, God save you if you hear something wandering nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. No author. No copyright. The Backrooms was born as an open wound, and the internet reached in to fill it. A single room can't be a mythology. So strangers who never met began building corridors onto it, one anonymous contribution at a time. Just 3 weeks after the post, the first dedicated Backrooms wiki appeared, a place to catalog a world that didn't exist yet. Then a colder canon took shape, modeled on the SCP Foundation, formal levels, entity numbers, safety classes. Bureaucracy for the impossible. Within a few years, thousands of authors were writing it, and not one of them agreed on what was real. They numbered the world. Level 0, the yellow rooms themselves, an endless maze under buzzing jaundiced light. Below it, Level 1, a vast in-parking garage where the shadows pool deep enough to hide anything. Level 2, claustrophobic maintenance tunnels of groaning pipe and hissing steam. But not all of it is ugly. Level 37, the pool rooms, pristine white tile half drowned in warm turquoise water. Beautiful. Silent. And wrong. Level 9, an eternal night suburb drowned in fog, where making a sound is a death sentence. Level Fun, a warehouse of inflatable bounce houses in screaming color, festive and lethal. Level exclamation mark, one infinite hallway you must never stop running down. And the end, an infinite decaying library, stripped of every book. The loneliest place in the whole endless machine. Because you are not alone down there. The facelings, pale humanoids, smooth and blank where a face should be, imitating a life they no longer have. The smilers, a floating grin and 2 eyes, hanging in the dark, waiting for the perfect moment. The hounds, rabid, gaunt, hunting in packs. The skin stealers, shapeshifters who wear a murdered wanderer, imperfectly, so you'll never be sure who is beside you. The partygoers, who force you to celebrate while they tear you apart. Even the windows watch back. And Entity 1, the first, deliberately left blank. The Backrooms keeps one horror unnamed, on purpose. If you're going to be trapped forever, you'll need to survive. So the community invented survival. Almond water, a bottled lifeline that keeps the dehydration and the madness at bay. Liquid pain, a blood-red substance said to be distilled agony itself. The level keys, one for every level that exists, each a shortcut through infinity. Where there are survivors, there is order. The MEG, a rescue service and an army in one. And there are afflictions no key can unlock. The cruelest trick of all, a property called Alone, that severs you from every other soul, so no matter how loud you scream, no one will ever hear. For 3 years, the Backrooms lived in text and still images. Then, in January 2022, a 16-year-old made it move. Kane Pixels rendered the yellow rooms, and filmed a camera falling through them, in shaky 90s analog horror. It looked like real footage of an impossible place. And this time, something was in it with the camera. His own creation, lunging out of the walls. Tens of millions of views. A meme that began on an anonymous board had become cinema. And Hollywood was watching. But one question haunted the community for 5 years. That original photograph, where was it actually taken? In May 2024, fans traced it, through the Wayback Machine, to an archive page from 2003. The truth was almost unbearably ordinary. The photo was taken in 2002, during the renovation of a former furniture store in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. A hobby shop, being converted into a racetrack. The most haunting image on the internet was a contractor's progress photo. The horror was never in the room. It was in what we brought to it. By now, you could do more than read the Backrooms. You could be trapped in it. Escape the Backrooms put millions of players inside the yellow rooms. And then, the summit. The teenager with the render grew up, and A24 handed him a feature film. May 2026, Backrooms premieres. At 20 years old, Parsons becomes the youngest filmmaker ever to top the box office, and the film becomes A24's biggest ever. From an anonymous, unsigned post, to a #1 film. A world with no author, authored by everyone. It started with one photograph of an empty room, and a single anonymous warning. Everything else, we built ourselves, out of the dread that room made us feel. So remember the rule. If you knock-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, God save you if you hear something wandering nearby. Because it sure as hell has heard you.